Power Slam. Turn it up, turn it up. It's the Pancake and Power Slam. Turn it up, turn it up. It's the Pancake and Power Slam Show. Turn it up.
What's going on, everybody? This is the 13-year anniversary show of the Pancakes and Powerslams Show. I am Dr. Chris Featherstone here for yet another episode. We're going to have a great time. Really looking forward to it, man. Look, without further ado, we don't have time for share time right now, but we do have time to bring on two of my bros. And we're going to have a great time. I'm bringing back the Versus series that I did a few times. And one of these people is like a reigning champion, reigning winner. And he's got some competition, very intellectual competition tonight. And this person is maybe a really good trivia player. We'll see. This is a completely WrestleMania themed. And so we're going to have a great time, ladies and gentlemen. So without further ado, let's bring on the champion. He is former NWA World Heavyweight Champion, two-time TNA World Heavyweight Champion. He is none other than EC3. How are you, my brother?
The champ is here.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. His opponent is a former WWE Tag Team Champion, former NWA Tag Team Champion, former NWA National Heavyweight Champion. He is the intellectual savior of the masses. And we'll see how intellectual he is tonight, ladies and gentlemen. The challenger, Aron Stevens. How are you, my man?
I'm lovely. I'm sitting here in a bathrobe and a baseball hat, so I'm comfortable.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
If I knew you were wearing your bathrobe, I would have had my Overlord little white number on, and we would have been matched.
Oh, yeah.
I have it upstairs. I just don't know if I should throw. Can you guys wait 4-5 minutes? Okay.
We probably don't have the time. All right. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to start into this this game here. Go ahead, EC3. You got some comments before we dig in?
Before we start, I just want to, bring attention to my partner, my cohort, my creative mastermind behind the scenes. Aron Stevens been doing a lot of help with the Exodus promotion, the NWA Exodus, and I just want his dues to be given in this public forum before I emasculate him via trivia.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that, and it's funny because the stuff I'm doing now, I got my start at Exodus, so it's a very cool kind of. It's just it's a great environment, and if you've never been to Exodus, if you can go to an Exodus show, do it. And as a wrestler, if you want to go get better and you want to learn, Exodus, their results speak for themselves, truly. And we're building quite a name in the community. It's funny I say we because it's truly feel like I'm part of that Exodus team.
You are.
Indeed. Welcome. That's awesome, man. Congratulations. I
would say if I'm the stern father, Aron is the loving, emotional support and weird mother. So
yeah.
There you go.
We're two peas in a pod.
Truly, yes.
All right. Without further ado, let's see. All right, here we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's dive right into it. Here we go. All right. So the contestants for tonight were given the rules and the stipulations before we dived into it. We are going to we understand there's for the people watching, there's going to be 3 rounds, 3 quick rounds. First round, just 6 questions, 2 questions apiece. This is all WrestleMania themed. The second round is going to be a big bundle of very short clips, like 1 to 1.5 seconds of WrestleMania main eventer theme songs, and the contestants cannot comment. It's a free for all. They cannot guess until the theme song is off. All right. And the third round would be another set of 6 questions to a piece. Any questions?
When the song ends, do we have to use a vocal, like just say it, or do I like pound my keyboard?
Just say it. You got to just say it. Yep. Just say it. It's going to be
say it. Don't spray it.
That's
Throw
right.
my beat to Aron. What you got? Follow it up.
Nice.
Give me the song, I'll get the right answer all night long because I ain't ever wrong. You know what I'm saying? Feel that.
Yeah, very nice. Very nice. Wonderful. All right. All right. Without further ado, we're going to pick a number 1 to 500. And this is going to be predicated on who's the last person who ate a hamburger.
I had one at about 6 o'clock with no bun. I made some Wagyu burgers, sizzled them up real nice, little control your nutrition seasoning on them. So at 6 o'clock, I had a hamburger. No bun though, so I don't know if it counts.
Yeah. What about you, Aaron?
Okay.
Yesterday, and I did have a bun. It was a Jack Fry's on Bardstown Road in Louisville. It's my favorite hamburger.
I'll give it to him. The bun makes the burger. I just had.
All right, there you go. All right, so you get to pick first 1 to 500, Aaron.
2.
Okay.
I was gonna pick 2.
No, you weren't.
Yes, I was.
Dude, you know what? And I know you're not lying. That's crazy.
That's wonderful. How about you, EC3?
333.
Okay, the number is 34. So, Aaron, you actually get the first question here. All right, so here we go. The first question is what sports legend competed against Bam Bam Bigelow at WrestleMania 11?
Lawrence Taylor.
Good.
That is correct. Absolutely. You get a point. Congratulations for that. All right. 1 point for Aaron Stevens. Next question for you, EC3. Who was the outside enforcer of the main event between Shawn Michaels and Steve Austin at WrestleMania 14?
Oh, that was Mike Tyson. Dishing out
Mike Tyson. That is correct. Good job. We have Aaron. Which 2 WrestleManias were promoted to be hosted in Trump Plaza?
4 and 5.
That is correct. Wonderful. We have EC3. Randy Savage defeated Crush at WrestleMania 10. What was the match stipulation?
Holy shit. Strap match.
Aaron, for the steal, 2 points.
Last man standing.
No,
I don't think
anywhere.
I don't think Last Man Standing exists until Foley. I think he was the first.
Oh.
Yep. It's Falls Count Anywhere. That was the end where he had he held him up, like hung him up like opposite head. Yeah, that was the gimmick there. All right. We have you, Aaron. It's still yours because you just had an opportunity to steal. All right. Who were the 4 participants of the WWE Championship main event at WrestleMania 2000 or WrestleMania 16?
Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and Chris Benoit.
EC3 for the steal.
Let's tie this up. Mick Foley, not Mankind or Cactus Jack or Dude Love. It was Mick Foley. It was The Rock. It was the Big Show, and it was Triple H.
That's correct. You get 2 points for the steal. And this is your question. So this could be a trifecta for you, EC3. Here we go. What venue? There you go. That's right. What venue hosted WrestleMania 3?
That'd be the Pontiac Silverdome in Detroit, Michigan. Well, Pontiac,
Michigan. Yes.
And how crazy that was a WrestleMania 3 question. and it was like that again. The number and your favorite. You were gonna pick 2, but then you picked 333. So we got numerology left, right, and out of sight in this.
Yes.
If I picked 33, I would have won, and I almost did, but I went all 3s. It's okay.
Yeah, indeed. All right, Aaron, here we go. All right, so that's it for first. That's it for the first round. All right, second round is going to be.
Here we go.
Hold on, let me get my apparatus here. This is going to be. Said it again, EC3.
What do you got there?
All right, I got my my theme song apparatus here. This is going to be the theme is going to be WrestleMania theme songs. All right, so I'm going to play a clip, and after I'm done, you're going to say what this is. All right, number 1.
Shawn Michaels HBK.
That's correct. EC3. EC3.
Oh, I thought we were going to answer each one. That's okay. I was like trying to let each. That's okay. All right, that's all good.
Free for all. Here we go.
Next. My village. Okay.
Next. Here we go.
Bret Hart. Oh shit! I mean, damn it! Yeah, I get disqualified for that one.
No, I'm okay with it.
Okay. Here we go. Next.
The Rock.
Mm-hmm. That's correct. EC3. Next.
Taker. Undertaker. I did it again.
No, you got it. You got it right at the end.
He just said Taker, though. That was his backstage name, not his professional wrestling name.
You're right.
Yeah, I'll give it to you. Here we go.
Ted DiBiase.
Yep, Ted DiBiase. EC3's beating you, Aaron. Just by a slight. Here we go.
I haven't figured out the rules yet. I'm shouting things out.
I'll be by default. I'm okay.
All good, man.
That's it.
Nope. Here we go. Ready?
1, 2.
Triple H.
Generation X.
That is Triple H. That's right.
Yeah, that's the old cool.
Oh, that's
that was
right.
Before
that's
the
right.
Motorhead theme. It's actually.
That's right.
I would almost think it's better. That song was.
It was, yeah, it was. Like they should have never fired Jim Johnson. By the way, I'm just saying that publicly. What a bunch of just
foolish,
stupid decisions that had to be made. Like that guy is just the greatest of all time.
He's the Hans Zimmer of wrestling themes,
without a doubt. Without a doubt,
he's wonderful. He created your theme, Aaron, right?
I had a theme, which was cool because growing up, I always wanted. I'm like, oh, if I go to WWE, Jim Johnson's going to write me a theme. And here's the kick in the pants. I get my Jim Johnson theme, and I'm like, this is great. Jim Johnson wrote me a song, but the Hallelujah chorus by Handel is what I was using, and that's a song that everyone knows that song. Yeah. So bottom line, it's easier to identify a song with the new guy on TV, so they would react better to my music. And that was like one of the toughest decisions because it's like, not to go out talk, but at NWA we have to, and at Exodus, and Exodus is where it really starts. Like we try to train people to think like businessmen and women. Mm-hmm. And that's tough sometimes because you have to put like your childhood, not dreams, because that's why we're doing it, but like your wants and your desires. And if like you look at it objectively, okay, what is the best decision? And I don't think the Sandow character would have been what it was, because it's so obnoxious to come down to that song. Yeah. And that was just that was a choice that I stand true. But man, Jim Johnson is just the absolute. If it wasn't for Jim Johnson, the WWE would not have the success it has today, in my opinion.
Agreed. Hall of Fame worthy?
Without question.
They're putting an old boot in there. Like, might as well put the best music maker they've ever had.
I agree. He should be in the Hall of Fame. Yeah. CFOs made yours, right? EC3?
Yeah. I wrote the lyrics, though.
Oh, did you? Nice.
I did.
Very nice. All right. Here we go. Speaking of lyrics, this one doesn't have any. I'll give you a spoiler there.
The Ultimate Warrior.
Here we go. Aaron got that one. All right, here we go. Next.
Okay.
Sergeant Slaughter.
That's correct. Sergeant Slaughter. Aaron Stevens. All right, next.
Vader.
Psycho Sid.
Shit, you're right.
Aaron.
I mean, I've had to do a lot of work with theme music over the last 12 months, and I almost ended up in jail, but that's another story for another podcast, as he will gladly attest to.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Share a little. Tease us for the next part. What happened there, man?
Again, being a Jim Johnson fan and being tasked with what I was tasked with this past year at NWA, when I'm tasked with a talent, every stitch of their clothing and every note of the song counts for something, because it does with all of us. And I am very, very specific to where, and here's an example. We're sitting here playing tribute. You're playing 1 to 2 seconds maximum of these theme songs, yet we're getting them. That's how important the music is. And some people just try to worry about themselves and not the talent, the more of the music. And it's wrestling is such a specific thing, and people think they know it because they're fans of it, and they think they know what's good. But a good song, or even an average song, it does not constitute a passable wrestling thing.
Yeah, I agree.
You have to fit the character. It's literally, it's custom made. It's a custom made suit versus a JCPenney suit, untailored.
Untailored is the big thing there. Real fast. I'm very particular and hands-on with what I do and who I am. But the first time since I've had any sort of say in what I do, I allowed Aron to have complete creative control over my theme song for the Overlord. Like I said, whatever you think, I trust you. Full blind trust. Right into that man's hands.
Are you happy with it, E?
Yes, but I'll tell you now, I'm kind of thinking, dude, our God is an awesome God. When that hit during the mushroom trip and I became a paladin, there's something to it that I don't know if the angels sing and there's a beat like that. And then the song we have now goes into full Exodus song. But maybe that's something we talk about. I am very happy with it.
Oh my God, call me tomorrow, because you're not wrong.
All right.
Like with EC3 lyrics.
Yeah.
But like in like a Christian rock kind of,
dude.
But
jams so good.
Yeah.
I like the brainstorming session.
Yeah.
Like it's fun.
We talked on the phone twice today, by the way.
That's awesome, man. All right. You're at Aaron's Thoughts, right? That's your
yes.
your Twitter,
or lack thereof.
I want to give y'all some pub here.
Fire.
Is that
fire.
Very nice.
Breaking out the fire stick.
Yes, indeed. All right, here we go. Let's see. I just wanted to make sure to give y'all some pub here, and take my screen off here. All right, here we go. Next, we got a few more for this round. I think there's been some comebackage a little bit, man. Yes. So I'll do. Yeah,
we're storytellers. What can we say?
Yeah, man. I'll do a score recap at the end here, at the end of this round, actually. All right, here we go. Next.
Finn Balor.
Aaron, you get to go alone.
I don't lose points.
Nope.
Man, I'm stumped on this one.
All right. That was Roman Reigns.
Oh my God.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
The Miz. Oh, do a cartwheel, dickhead.
Yep. Yep.
There you go. You would have a really a close affinity, a close association with the Miz during your WWE time, Aaron. What's the funniest thing that you've ever heard from the Miz? And what was it your idea to come up with the Damien Mizdow, or was that somebody else?
Yeah, that was just I came up with that on the spot.
Of course.
I was like, I'll probably get fired, but who cares? And then Vince pulled me aside and he was like, "Hey, you do whatever you want with that. I'll be the only one that'll pull you back." And I didn't talk to the man for like 9 months.
Wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah.
So were you like doing the mimicking of the moves and stuff like while y'all were out there, or was it an idea that you came up
No,
with?
I mean, like obvious. Yeah, like if there was an intricate finish and stuff, and you got a feed for a certain point, you know, if I had to be in a position, we discussed it, but 95% of that, and I'm talking house shows and television. No, that was 100% improv.
Did that start on house shows?
No, start on Raw.
Okay.
Yeah, and it got over. Why didn't you win that Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal? The Big Show won instead, but everybody wanted you to win.
Thank you. You know what? I just didn't make the decision. There's a bunch of decision makers, and
to be
people.
fair, the Big Show's really hard to throw over the top rope, and Aaron's a strong guy, but I mean he's Big Show.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he would have got that rub so well though, man, by having that spot.
Yep, but you know what? Obviously I didn't need a rub, and if I got it, they would have to do something. And if that wasn't factored into their plans, or I didn't, kowtow to the right person, okay, you know what? I guess that was not my WrestleMania.
Yeah. It was a weird. It wasn't really a payoff. I know that you kind of went babyface. You turn on the Miz, but there wasn't really a long feud that came out.
No, they wanted to get me away from that and off TV as fast as possible, so they could try to cool me off.
That was the intention. Like they didn't have anything with you.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
No, they were trying to cool me off.
Ah, man, I can't wait for y'all to read my Machiavellian politics comparison to wrestling. It's gonna.
I can't wait.
Machiavellianism, part of the dark triad, as EC3 made now. All right, here we go. Next we have, here we go. We got a few more left.
No more music. The John Cena.
the John Cena. Yes, indeed.
Yep.
All right, here we go. Next. I can request one little bit more.
One little bit more, Aaron.
Yeah. Becky Lynch.
That's correct. Becky Lynch. That's correct.
All
right, here we go.
Sami Zayn.
That's correct. Sami Zayn. All right. One more round left.
Funny how bad modern songs, Aaron.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. All right, here we go. Score updates. Right now we have EC3 at 11 and Aaron Stevens at 8. So it's still close.
11. Weird. My sister's girlfriend, the medium, has told me there's a number 11 circling me lately. This is all too much, guys.
Lots of numerology. Yeah, lots of numerology. All right. Let's see here. We have Aaron. Here's your question for round 3 in the final round. What new title holder won the WWE Championship by beating Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania 35?
I have no idea. I didn't watch wrestling back then. I really don't watch wrestling to this day, to be honest. So I have no idea.
Okay. Pay attention to the yes. Go ahead, EC3 for the steal.
When you say new title holder, like the new, is this something?
I can't give it away.
Okay, new title holder. So someone has a new.
Got 5 seconds for the steal.
I don't remember. AJ Styles.
No, new as in the New Day, Kofi Kingston.
Ah.
Yeah. Yep.
I like Kofi too. Congrats, Kofi.
Yes, indeed. All right, EC3, here we go. Steve Austin returned to WWE competition by defeating who at WrestleMania 38?
Kevin Owens.
That is correct. Kevin Owens. Aaron, who did The Undertaker compete against in his last WrestleMania match?
Roman Reigns.
Close. No. EC3.
The John Cena.
That's incorrect. No. COVID Mania, Boneyard match, AJ Styles. WrestleMania 36. He actually went against
Taz.
Yeah, he went against John New Orleans in 34.
Okay.
34. All right. EC3. Who were the participants in the Iron Man match at WrestleMania 12?
That would be Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart.
That is correct. That is correct. All right. Aron.
Do you know what is Aron, do you know if this is true that after the match and the boyhood celebration and Babyface won and Bret was kind of lingering, didn't he tell the ref, like, tell him to get the out of my ring?
I heard that. I heard when he had the title, he was screaming to have him get out.
That's
But hey, you know what? We weren't there, and as we
weren't.
know, rumors get started. So it's like,
That's true.
you know what? It's like I don't. You never wrestlers like to talk.
Yes. I do like to pull that out on people sometimes, though, especially in like insignificant moments. Like, tell them to get the.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, very nice.
Right.
A la Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 12, ladies and gentlemen. All right. This is for Aron. What WWE superstar has been featured in the most WrestleMania main event matches?
Shawn Michaels.
That's incorrect. EC3.
Now, when they classify main events, sometimes they classify it, but it's not necessarily the last match. Is that
True main event? True main event. Last match of the
Hogan?
That's incorrect. It was Hogan. Now it's Roman Reigns. Actually,
Really?
Yes, indeed.
Man, he had a good run, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, indeed. All right, Aron. Actually, this is for you, EC3. What venue hosted the first WrestleMania in 1985?
The world's most famous one, perhaps, Madison Square Garden.
Yes, indeed. That is correct. Ladies and gentlemen, final tally. EC3, 14. Aron Stevens, 8. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up.
Hey, if you're gonna do the job, do it to the champ.
Indeed, reigning and defending champion of this series, EC3. Any words of congratulations? Any celebratory words for you? Again, EC3.
He's gonna kick me out of the show, so you all have a good.
Get the fuck out of my show.
Language.
Sorry.
All right. Any party words, my man?
No, I always enjoy a good romp. I'm happy to defend the strap anytime you need the attraction to swing by.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right, let them know where to find you, my man. Plug away before we
at Aron Thoughts on. I'm at
that was actually Aron. Say Aron Stevens.
At the real EC3 on socials, and I'm not posting because all I'm doing is writing this tome. Is that the word for book? Tome, Tome.
Yeah, tome. Yeah.
Oh man, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm so excited.
I'm excited about your book, man. I'm going to buy it. I'm going to buy the paperback so I can have it on my bookshelf.
I would love just to claim best-selling author because people do that now. They release something on Amazon and they get like 40 buddies to buy it. They're the top book of the day.
Exactly. Exactly. Wonderful, man. Well, thank you as always, EC3. Congratulations, man. Get some sleep and have a good night, my brother.
Good night. Thank you.
All right. Peace. All right, everybody. That was fun. Great way to kick off the 13th anniversary show. Congratulations to EC3 for once again coming out as the victor of the Versus series, man. He's undefeated and he's just defeating people with pro wrestling trivia, man. He is the trivia king. All right, man, without further ado, let's get to questions. So it is time for the question king. All righty then. All right, man. This has been lots and lots and lots of fun. Appreciate you all. 13th anniversary show. Got lots of comments here. All right. Josh, what are your thoughts on Kevin Owens' injury? Do you think it's an angle to set up Orton up, or is it legit? It just came out of nowhere. Man. I just, I don't want it to. It would be great if it wasn't real, but at the same time, it's like, man, there's certain things that's like, man, you gotta get to the point of you can't really have this be a work so much. You know what I mean? Like it's hard to storyline stuff like this being so serious nowadays. And it's like, man, it can this could this potentially take away the fact of any wrestling thing being real, any wrestling injury being real. And, they mentioned it on Raw too, what I mean? So hopefully that brought a little bit more understanding of this is probably a shoot, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I just don't see how that would help the angle at all. I mean, we're 2 weeks away from WrestleMania. I just don't think it would have. I don't think it's necessary to add that as a part of the angle at all. So that's my thoughts there. All right. All right. Axe Doc is the way to go. Elvis, happy anniversary. Thank you, Robert. Happy anniversary. WWE talent back like Damien Sandow back on the roster. I agree, man. He's an incredibly talented guy. Let's see here. What else we got before we head out? X-Doc. Hashtag. What's up, everybody? 13 years, y'all. Wow. Got some people from old Bleacher Report friends coming back here, man. Robert's asking, who do you think? We got Majestic Marie's in the building as well. Such a sweetheart of a person. Who do you think will be Orton's opponent at WrestleMania? Hot name being thrown around, Aleister Black. I would say no for Aleister Black. He'll probably come in as a baby face. You don't want to ruin that. You don't want to ruin Aleister Black and Randy Orton so quick. I mean, I wouldn't be a fan of that. I don't see why not Karrion Kross, man. I just don't. I think that should happen. I don't see why it wouldn't happen, and I think it should. I think it absolutely should happen. So Karrion Kross, but then you have Karrion Kross versus AJ Styles, and it's like it might be a schmoz finish, which I think it should be, because I don't think it should be a clean finish with AJ Styles and Karrion Kross coming up on Raw. I'm not a fan of that. I don't think that should happen. I think it should be a schmoz finish because Logan Paul interferes and gets some heat on AJ Styles heading into WrestleMania. I also think that would give an out for Karrion Kross, and I think Karrion Kross could be able to interfere with Randy Orton or something like that. As far as the other names, I don't really see any other name really that would make sense for Randy Orton. Unless Sami Zayn comes out and say, I know Kevin Owens has been a thorn in my flesh, but he's still my best friend. He's still my best friend. And then you can have like a, Sami Zayn versus Randy Orton type of match. Neither of them are heels, but Sami Zayn and Randy Orton goes against each other. I'm sure that the fans will love it. I'm sure that they'll have some "This is awesome" chants. And then, of course you could have Randy Orton turn heel eventually, as they're both cool, and you can have Orton RKO Sami Zayn, a few weeks after or something to that nature, and then you can have Randy Orton versus babyface Sami Zayn. That'll be an interesting feud, add some emotion to it. And I mean, that could be something that could be an interesting feud going into the summertime if that was the case. And so I think that would probably be my stab at what would be a realistic thing to happen. Travis, what's up, my man? How do you feel about the WrestleMania 41 card? There's so many multi-person matches. Goes for Stand and Deliver too. That's my take on this card. It felt rushed. I mean, you got a bunch of matches being confirmed within like a few weeks of the actual WrestleMania card, yo. That just goes to show. Like beforehand, there was such a really desperate type of effort to have this WrestleMania, any WrestleMania, to have WrestleMania events be like top notch, be creme de la creme, all-star game, everything in between. But at the same time, now you're dealing with rushed cards, rushed angles. Still don't know why Dominic Mysterio's in the Intercontinental Championship match and he wins like 1 out of every 100 matches. Of course, that didn't have anything to do with Dominic's, booking. That's what they're booking him to look like. He's basically a glorified enhancement talent who gets booed immensely, but he doesn't. His win-loss record doesn't show for it. I mean, he wins like once, 1 out of every like 30 matches. But for some odd reason, he gets the Intercontinental Championship title match. How does that make sense? Because he was a part of the winning tag team who beat Braun Breaker and Penta. Well, you got to give me more about that. You got to give me more to that. Because at the end of the day, if you don't, it doesn't make sense to me at all why Dominic Mysterio's in the Intercontinental Championship match. But I mean, there's so many other. I mean, the triple threat between Rollins and Reigns and Punk. There's no stakes added. The favor was Paul Heyman being in CM Punk's corner. That was a dud to me. That was anticlimactic. Make it, if this is going to be main event night one, put some stakes. And I've talked about this before. Give us some stakes. Have this be a number one contenders match and have the winner go against the world heavyweight champion match at night 2. So you have Jay and Gunther night 1, and the winner of this triple threat match will go against the winner of Gunther versus Jay. I mean, there's so many ways that this can benefit in either way. If Jay wins, he's the champ. He has his moment. If Rollins and Jay, that would feel like a WrestleMania match. I mean, that would feel like a Raw match. That wouldn't really have too much into it. But Punk and Jay, with Paul Heyman in the corner, still, he wanted him to be in his corner for the whole weekend, and now there's some animosity still with Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns can interfere, and cost Punk the match, or CM Punk can sidestep, and Roman Reigns spears Paul Heyman. There's so many things that can come with that. And then if you have Roman Reigns versus Jay, I mean, that's bloodline. That has some history there. And if Gunther beats Jay, you can definitely have Roman Reigns versus Gunther would be a very interesting match, a hard-hitting match. You can also have Punk versus Gunther, and Punk have his crowning moment at WrestleMania and win the world championship. Seth Rollins versus Gunther, we've seen that before, and I'm sure that would be a good match too. So, making it stakes, making it number one contenders match for the World Heavyweight Championship to me would make the most sense. Whoever wins, unless there's like some swerve which the biggest swerve right now would be Paul Heyman going with Seth Rollins. And is that really a swerve? Like, do we really care enough to have the payoff of that be Paul Heyman going with Seth Rollins? No, I don't think so. People's Wrestling Channel, could Triple H's mindset for still booking matches for Mania be people have to tune in to see what matches are being made? No. I mean, because they're all over social media. If I'm explaining your question, if I'm understanding your question right. Your thoughts on Rey Fénix's debut? It was what it's supposed to be. I mean, Nathan Frazier was a really good choice for that, and Rey Fénix is an amazing talent, and that was a good showcase for him. And kudos to him, man. I'm happy. I'm very, very happy for him. Elvis, good old Black Bart. Come on, my man. Good old Black Bart will be proud of you as he always was. Can you give us some good old Black Bart? Dadgummit. We all miss Black Bart. Yes, we all do, man. We all miss Black Barts. And yeah, man, it's interesting. I feel like I got to sneeze, so I'm going to do that. I caught the mute. Right on time. Yes. It was coming too. It was coming. It's like, it's coming. And I was able to catch the mute right on time. That made me happy. All right. Appreciate the little things in life, ladies and gentlemen. It makes you a lot happier. All right. So yeah, Black Bart, man. Black Bart was my guy, man. You know, out of all the people that I have become have developed a really good relationship with in this industry, Black Bart is definitely one of the best and most the closest people that I developed a relationship with in my 15 years as a journalist. And man, he was just a fun guy to talk to, y'all. He just really was, man. We would have conversations off camera, and he was really talking about like really getting back into his faith and going to church and things like that. And that was actually a lot of the conversations that we would have. He would give me some road stories and stuff too, but a lot of the stuff was that we talked about was like his faith and getting back into his faith and going back to church and stuff like that. I was just always encouraging him and just really giving him some really good spiritual encouragement and things like that, man. He was just fun to talk to. He was just a really cool dude. And I became and it was so heartwarming that his wife Linda was she called me and she gave me an update and things like that. And she said, just a sweetheart of a person. She was like, Bart always liked you and always appreciated how you treated, how you publicly, portrayed Bart, as a journalist, and always, and he, Bart always said really good things about you, and said highly, always spoke of you highly. So she was like, other than my family, I want to call you and let you know, the update. And if he, at this point, it was just about done. It was pretty obvious and pretty much settled in that he was on the verge of passing away because it just got really, really bad. And man, she called me and she followed through on her word, and she told me, and she processed it very strongly, very, very strong woman. She processed very strongly. I prayed for her over the phone, and she was just, it really uplifted her spirits. And, I'm just a small part of the life of Black Bart, man, but the part that I was able to experience with the guy, man, it was such a blessing. He became a friend of the show. And not only more than a friend of the show, he became a best friend of the show. Everybody loved Black Bart on Pancakes and Powerslams Show. He was on a bunch of times and loved to see him live. And he had we would do old school. People who's been on PNP, who's followed PNP for a long time, we would do watch-alongs with Black Bart of old world class with old Black Bart doing the Texas compactor. It was great, man. Oh, it was great. It was fantastic, man. Great memories. All right, Robert said, I was thinking Aldis versus Orton a long time ago was supposed to be Nash versus Punk, then Triple H's Toad. You know, Aldis Orton just doesn't do it for me, man, to be honest with you. I mean, we were just talking about this on Bill Apternight's show. He was asking me about it. Just, again, man, my pro wrestling, I view pro wrestling as more of a critic, an analyst. I don't view pro wrestling as a super fan. I don't view pro wrestling as a mark. I'm not a prisoner of the moment when it comes to pro wrestling. I mean, there's so much about pro wrestling that I'm not a fan of. I'm a fan that I get paid to watch it. I'm a fan that I got really good relationships with people in the business, and I'm super blessed for that. I mean, so that's wonderful, you know, but at the same time, it's just a viewer watching it. I'm looking at it from a critical standpoint, just because that's how I do with sports. I mean, like, this is about to rip a Band-Aid off again, but my Duke Blue Devils choked on Saturday. They choked against Houston. They were up until 33 seconds left in the game, and they choked. And I'm not going to be like, oh, man, Duke is an amazing team. What an amazing game. They're awesome, man. This is awesome. Or should I say this? I got a soundbite for it. Go. I don't say that as Duke. It's a great game. It's a fantastic game, but I don't chant "This is awesome" as Duke is slowly losing. They're slowly experiencing their demise. I'm not chanting "This is awesome" as there's really good back and forth competition between Duke and Houston. Wow. He had a free throw that he wasn't able to do. Oh, what a clutch foul. Oh, what a steal. This is awesome. No, I don't do that. I don't chant that. I'm upset because my team is losing now, almost at the very end. Same thing for people who wanted Houston to win. They were up until 64 seconds left in the game against Florida. In the last minute, I don't want to travel, so I won't touch it. And just, it was all over the place, man. Houston fans, I'm sure, were pretty upset. Come Monday, it was a great game. You know, it was a great championship game. But at the same time, you're not gonna be chanting "This is awesome" if you're a Houston fan. You're not going to be chanting "This is awesome" as a Duke fan on Saturday. I sure as heck didn't, especially when Duke was up for most of the game, for like 97% of the game, 98% of the game. They were up. They other than scores, they had better statistics for just about everything on the scoreboard, on the score sheet. They had better statistics, but they just didn't have the grit. And so I'm not going to be chanting "This is awesome" just because the game was good, which it was. But if you're a fan, you're a fan. If you're a fan of the sport, you're a fan of the sport. And even if it's not your team, if you see a team that's starting to choke, you're going to call it out. If I wasn't a Duke fan and I was pretty much neutral on Duke, I'm going to, as a sports fan, if I love college basketball, I'm going to say that this team choked. I do that all the time with college football. I do it all the time. I watch college football all the time. Everybody knows how much I love college football. And I watch non-Ohio State games every single weekend during college football season. Every single weekend. I know about certain quarterbacks and certain teams. I know about certain running backs, defense, wide receivers. I know about coaches. I know about records. I know where they are in their division. I know all of those things, but I'm not going to be like, whoa, what an amazing game if someone just absolutely choked. And so when you're a fan of competitive sports, man, you're not going to spend so much time and saying, oh, they cooking. No, you're a critic, man. But a lot of times pro wrestling fans, I mean, the majority of the time in this culture that we're experiencing, pro wrestling fans, man, you can do no wrong. You can do no wrong when it comes to the creative nature. And that's unfortunate, man, because you should be a fan. You should be open and honest as far as just your team or your wrestler or just a sport not really delivering as it should. El Grande Grande, I think he meant Grande Americano gets a Mania match, but Chad Gable does his travesty. The People's Wrestling Channel is saying that. Yeah, it is what it is, man. Chad Gable, I don't care who you are. If you're not being booked strongly, why should you get a match? I mean, but it seems as if they're giving El Grande Americano a match because because they want Chad Gable to be rewarded for his efforts. But I mean, like, and Chad Gable is a great guy. I've met him. I've interviewed him personally. Awesome dude. But if you're not booking him correctly, but this El Grande Americano, okay, sure, man. I mean, you get a WrestleMania match with Rey Mysterio. I'm sure he's happy. Like, hey, I don't care if I'm under a hood or not. Sure, you want me to be El Grande Americano? Oh, I get a match with Rey Mysterio, a WWE Hall of Famer. A singles match. It's not even a tag match. It's a singles match at WrestleMania against a WWE Hall of Famer. Yeah, sign me up. Oh, I got to wear a mask and be named El Grande Americano. Oh, sure. Yeah, that's fine. I don't. So, I mean, I get to go against Rey Mysterio, especially if he beats Rey Mysterio. Even if it loses, he still gets a good rub from it. So I'm sure he doesn't care like a fraction as much as the WWE universe does when it comes to this. He's probably most likely just very happy that he has a WrestleMania spot in a singles match against Rey Mysterio. So if we think about, again, I always tell people that are in a wrestling bubble, man, step out for a second. Step out of this wrestling bubble for a second and just understand the reality of this. Understand the logic of this and understand just the non, skewed version of this. Russell, I do this a lot with my clients when it comes to perspective. Like a lot of times, if you put your hand right here, if everybody put their hand right here watching this right now, what do you see? You just see your hand. You don't see anything around it. But as you bring it further out and have a wider perspective on things, you see more and you have a clearer lens and a better perspective of what's around you. A lot of wrestling fans are like this. I mean, they're so much like this, man. They're like, oh, it's cooking. Oh, it's amazing. This is awesome. This is it right here. And that's basically what they see. But I encourage people to just step away for a second and just really understand the full gravity of what you see around you and say, you know what, is this really like cooking? Like if I'm not a prisoner of the moment, is it cooking as much as I'm saying that it is? You know what I mean? And so you got to think about that stuff as pro wrestling fans, man. Prayers for Darby Allin. I heard he's leaving April 15th to climb Mount Everest, and from what I've heard, it's a 2-month climb, and the goal is to out the AEW flag on top. Is that worth his life? No. Yeah, I agree. It's not worth his life, but A lot of times people are so driven by adrenaline. Adrenaline's a heck of a drug, man. A lot of times people are driven by it. They end up, if they don't scale back, man, they end up risking a lot more than what they should. I mean, he's got people who love him. He's got people who, would rather for him not to do it, who are much closer to him than we are. And he's taking what taking what they said in consideration or not. But I'm sure that they've expressed it to him. But I mean, hey, man, if he's like, nope, I hear you, but no, I ain't doing it. I'm doing it anyways. I ain't listening to you. The only thing we can do, like you're mentioning, James, is to pray for safety. Pray that he's safe. Let's see here. Should Cena lose at WrestleMania now? Punk has Heyman. Is he the one to beat Cody? Again, man, we'll do WrestleMania predictions on the after party next week, man. Okay, sure. Should Cena lose at Mania? I mean, I've said it. I still say that. I still think that Cena. There's a good chance that he's going to lose because they want Cody to be the, poster boy, the golden boy, the Superman of this era, like Hulk Hogan was and like John Cena was. So we'll see. We'll see. What's the favor? The favor is being with Rollins, and that's the case. Okay, sure. Sure thing. Majestic Marie, do I see Heyman betraying Roman and Punk and joining Rollins at WrestleMania? Like I said, yeah, I think so. I mean, I think so. But if that's the case, okay, all right. I mean, there hasn't been a true long Rollins versus Reigns feud. I mean, they did like a one-off on a January pay-per-view, I think. I think it was like a Royal Rumble. I think Rollins won by DQ a few years ago. But, yeah, I mean, there's some story with that. But if Rollins is with Heyman and you got Heyman cutting the promos instead of Rollins, you got to change. You better change his music for sure. But we've already had this with the Monday Night Messiah. We've already had this with Rollins being heel, and if he goes heel again, man, I'm just not heavily intrigued by it, honestly. Roberto, thank you for the love very, very much. Michael Pesolano, and I hope everybody subscribed to YouTube, by the way. I appreciate everybody. I appreciate the people that's on Facebook as well and on Twitter. But hey, man, let's get these YouTube numbers, man. I brought in 2 former champions on the show live at almost 12 o'clock at night. It was 11:45 at night. And I brought 2 people on, and I've been grinding. I had a couple Hall of Famers on deck. Shout out to EC3 and Aaron Stevens. First of all, let's give them some love. Let's give them some love for a second. Matter of fact, I'm gonna give the after party the full scoop of how this night was ended up being the way that it is. It ended up being wonderful, by the way. Ended up being awesome. I had a great job. I had a great time, and I think this is a wonderful job to celebrate. A wonderful night to celebrate. A wonderful opportunity. A wonderful happening to celebrate 13 years. And so I'll give the full scoop on the after party of how everything went down. So join the after party and you'll get all the backstage, the fourth wall scoop skis when it comes to that. All right, Michael's asking, Michael, who's a Patreon member, by the way. So Michael, since all signs are pointing and everyone's saying that Heyman will leave with Rollins, they probably won't go for it. Sure. Yeah, perhaps. Yeah, sure. Again, okay. Black Bart is family of the show. He was, yes, absolutely, absolutely. His best friend slash, he's one of those best friends that it's like you call your cousin, you call your best friend your cousin. You know what I mean? Like that's what we used to do back in the day. In my culture, in my neck of the woods, man. Like we would call like best friends, and like we would have neighbors who were best friends, and we would call them like cousins because we were so close to them. And so yeah, he's like that best friend cousin who comes to the cookout, who was absolutely invited by the cookout because everybody knows him because you're so close. So we got Robert. You brought a carrying cross versus Orton that could be fit. He's from Vegas and moment for him. He's actually brought this up on Twitter. Yeah, I mean, I'm for it, man. I really am for it. I mean, you've got Karrion Kross, man, who's just a phenomenal mind, man. There's certain people who are in the business who are such bigger, like creatively bigger than the business, just bigger than the business, man. Creatively just head and shoulders above the business. And it's more than just booking matches. It's more than just having this as awesome moments. Like Karrion Kross doesn't really go out for this is awesome moment from the fans. He goes out because like his motto, his motive is to capture the souls of the fans by way of psychology. And it's like he's a brilliant mind creatively. And I was talking to Russo on our post Raw show, and I was thinking like, and I brought this up, and he mentioned, and he was going with it. I was like, man, wonder if you had a creative team, like if you had because Vince Russo was a part of a 2-man, creative team with him and Ed Ferrara. Why don't you just ditch all of the, all of the hands in the jar of everybody who's in creative now? Find an office job for them or something. I'm not a fan of people losing their jobs, but find an office job for them. I'm sure there's something in this big empire of WWE or TKO. But it's like, why don't you have a 3-person creative team? And that those 3 people are Karrion Kross, Bo Dallas, Dexter Lumis. Oh, think about that for a second, man. Imagine those 3 people be a 3-person creative team. Oh, man. The story, the feel, the ebbs, the flows, the long-term booking, the story arc, the emotion that would come into that as far as storylines are concerned. Man, I'll tell you. Like that excites you. You want to talk about? I've had conversations of like, what would excite you about pro wrestling if it were to happen? And I've answered that question, the same way that I still feel like it would. It's difficult, man. It really is difficult to come up with an answer of like what would revive my passion and being a pro wrestling fan again. I get paid to talk about this, to watch this, but like what would revive? I have passion to do that because I am super. I've said this way before. I've said this so many. I'm very, very passionate about everything I do, and I take great pride in everything that I do. So I'm passionate. I'm thankful, and I'm so grateful that I get this opportunity. People pray for this opportunity. So who the heck am I to take it for granted? So I am so thankful for getting paid to talk about pro wrestling, y'all. Like, come on, man. That's amazing. I don't take that for granted. But when it comes to like my fandom, when it comes to like my passion as a pro wrestling fan, it's not there. It's not there. What could bring it back though is if that 3-man team was in charge of creative for WWE. I am game. I am so game. I'm so game with this, man, because that is just I can't the psychology. Y'all know how I am when it comes to psychology, y'all, and that would absolutely churn and spark my interest as far as a fan is concerned. I'd be so excited to see what they would come up with storyline wise. Now you can have people that they can be the masterminds, they can be the heads of the creative team, and they can just have like creative liberties when it comes to that, and they can hire a few people, and when it comes to like writing the segments and stuff like that. But when it comes to like the creative masterminds behind stuff, those three people should be in charge and really should be a 3-man team. And if they need help, like writing it down as far as just the writing staff, okay, sure. But they should be in charge of creative, hands down. End of story. Grande Americano gets a WrestleMania match before Solo gets a WrestleMania match. Yeah, that's true. I don't know what's going on with the Solo stuff, man. All right, y'all. I think that's it for now. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all so much for showing me some love here on the 13th year of the Pancakes and Powerslams Show, y'all. 13 years. This is the 600th and 78th show, I believe. Yeah, 678th show of the Pancakes and Powerslams Show. Wow. 13 years. 13 years of the Pancakes and Powerslams Show. Thank you so much for continuing to show your love, man. Continue to love on the show here. We're going to hop into the after party. Let's see, I'm sure I got a flurry of comments, but for some reason it's not showing up. But yeah, I mean, last one I got was, I don't know what's going on. But, people are still here, and we're still having a good time. That's the last one I got, so I don't know what's going on with the StreamYard. But hey, show me some love. Going to patreon.com/Pancakes and Powerslams Show, patreon.com/Pancakes and Powerslams, actually, patreon.com/Pancakes and Powerslams. That's a way to show me love. It's less than $1 a week supporting your boy, giving you free psychology classes throughout every single week. Next week, we got a psychology class, picking that back up. Shout out to EC3, shout out to Aron Stevens for having a wonderful night and hey, man, celebrating 13 years. 13 years, man. I think I just need to say that a few more times for it to kick in, that this show has been on air for 13 years. That's such a blessing, and I thank every single one of you. I apologize for some reason StreamYard's blocking me from seeing comments. The last comment I got was like 20 minutes ago. That's showing up right now, almost like 15 minutes ago. So I don't know what's going on, but hey, onward and upward. I'm sure that I'll get some great comments from everybody. But I'll tell you what you do, because I still have people that are live, and again, no drop-offs. So thank you so much for that. Do two things for me. Since I can't see your comments on here, comment on YouTube. So when this show is over, comment on YouTube, and that helps the algorithms too. So like on YouTube, share on YouTube, subscribe on YouTube, follow me at Chris Prolific on Twitter. And until next week, y'all. God bless you all. Thank you so much for rocking with your boy. And I'm so thankful for 13 years of the Pancakes and Powerslams Show. Man, there's so much story in this 13 years. There's so much story that's involved. One of them being the hashtag wrench mob. I brought out the wrench mob hashtag shirt from man, I remember back in the day, man. Years ago, I would have what's called the wrench mob of the Pancakes and Power Slam show, and people who had wrenches and things like that. It was really cool, man. And so there's so many elements of the Pancakes and Power Slam show that was great. Okay, we get a Twitter comment. Shout out to Twitter. I'm getting a Twitter comment, so I think they should, Netflix should have them as writers. Yeah, I agree. I think EC3 and Aaron Stevens are wonderful, wonderful minds, and I was glad to have them tonight. So go support EC3. Go support Aaron Stevens, NWA, all things NWA. They're both doing some great things over at NWA, so go give them some love. Until next week, ladies and gentlemen, I am Dr. Chris Featherstone. Go ahead and comment. Again, I can't see the comments on YouTube, so just comment away on this show, and that'll boost up my algorithms, and it'll let everybody see this wonderful, fun WrestleMania trivia between EC3 and Aaron Stevens, and it'll also let people know about about the Pancakes and Power Slam show and all the really cool classes that they can go back to and learn about negative commenters and depression and sibling rivalry and incel culture and cancel culture and bandwagon effect and obedience and authority and the heel turn when it comes to the Lucifer effect and the Faustian bargain when it comes to selling your soul to the devil. I mean, there's so many things that we've talked about that I've given classes on here on the Pancakes and Power Slam show. So be sure to subscribe so you can see all of them. They are free on the catalog for you all. And so Ghost, in appreciation for that, I appreciate the Patreons, and you sign up for Patreon to show your love and appreciation for that. So with that being said, until next week, enjoy your week of wrestling. God bless, and always remember, I do it for you. Have a good night, everybody. So long.